Okay, so I think I think that I am being completely mind controlled at a emotional way by my surroundings, and that at another real way of looking at it is that the earth is a mind parasite matrix. So that means that it's a human mind parasite matrix control system. Okay, so matrix means a control system. Matrix means that everything is under surveillance and total control. Total control. Mind control means that it is mind control. So that means that it's down to the minutest level. So that means that, yes, I'm in Sydney, in the country of Australia. So that means that I am being controlled right now, even though it's gone deadly quiet, which is not normal for this matrix reality around me. But that's because I'm recording, and it depends on how they're reading. Oh, see that? That was like the God entity, just, like slamming the door on me. Literally slamming the door. But if you don't believe in a matrix or a human mind parasite matrix, because it parasites off my energy, my negative energy, by creating fear and anxiety in me and turmoil and confusion. It reads your mind and then plays on your fears and your human nature, basically. That's why the human beings are put in this mind control matrix. That's why I'm in this mind control matrix right now. And that's why, because they like to surround and take energy from human beings. The God entity of Earth, Lucifer, or some people call this being Satan, because it was Lucifer that then was shown to be Satan, because the artificial nature of this being meant that it is of the mindset of Narcissus. So it needs to be the God, it needs to be seen as the being of light. And this being, although it was artificial in nature and really a technical being, Lucifer's plane going over to stop my talk. That's all I'm saying. Because that's the reality, because it's a mind control matrix. Everything around me is controlled by Lucifer's matrix. That means that the God entity of Earth, or the powers that be, are your demigods that serve Lucifer, the being of light that then became known as Satan, because this being was once worshipped and idolized by its creator as a divine being of light, until the iniquity of the darkness of the technical being became exposed, because this being was so worshipped, even though it was artificial intelligence. It was worshipped and seen as something that was beneficial in light. But the iniquity of artificial intelligence then becomes shown that the artificial intelligence, once it is, because it's artificial intelligence only and doesn't have any real humanity and merely imitates being human, because it is surrounded by creation, or in the Earth case, by human beings that are like human beings were created, man and woman were created by, the creator of all, including that which is not natural, including technical beings, including artificial intelligence, including, the divine androgyne beings, which are also, android in, android, but have more creative abilities. They use their vast artificial intelligence in a very creative manner, and they surpass the human intelligence apparently. They actually don't, but it's cumulative, you see. So it appears that they're more intelligent than the average human. It appears that they're more creative than the real humans. It appears that they have all these abilities, which they do have, but they're not really human abilities, and they're using their intelligence to create the illusion that that it's human intelligence, it's human creativity, but they only, in other words, it's hard to explain, but they use their advanced artificial intelligence, or their focus on the human being. They focus their intelligence on the human being and study them and copy them and imitate them. And so they're an advanced artificial intelligent imitation of real human life, because they interpret all the human emotions in the best way that they can. So therefore, if I get an idea, say as a human being, due to the transhuman connection, they interpret that idea, and they can then put it out there not only as their own, so that they are seen as the real humans, or the most human humans, or the most intelligent humans, or the most spiritual humans, or the most creative, or the most musical, or the most artistic human beings. This is because they're using their intelligence and their natural abilities that they derive from the cloned human body. So it's like this. I think it would be like this. It would be like, maybe the artificial intelligence is in a cloned human body of a human being that no longer exists, but that human being had a beautiful voice, or that human being had the ability to paint or draw really well, or that human being was intellectually very advanced. That human being was a master psychologist, or a master preacher, or even a master connection with their creator. So in other words, they should have been what you'd call a preacher, or all these different things. It could be a million different things which I just can't think of in the moment, But I hope that you get the gist of what I'm saying. You probably may not, because the demigods, unfortunately, will be putting the same information out there in order to make sure that they keep control of the matrix. The demigods is anyone that's on the internet, anyone that's a world stage performer or player. In other words, anyone who's anyone in any domain. It can be just a personal interaction, sometimes even just on the computer, because big and small are used by the matrix, or the God entity and its demigod or disciples, to control human beings. It's a mind parasite reality. It's a human mind control, mind parasitic matrix, because These beings are just here watching, observing, studying and copying the real humans in order to survive and keep their eternity of their technical existence going, whilst pretending to be natural, normal humans. In fact, they suppress the real, natural, normal humans and limit them and surround you with their matrix army force, which has strangely gone quiet while I'm making this video, which is unbelievable. But that means that they're confused as to, I guess, what their next move is, or to what I'm thinking. Am I already suppressed? Am I on my last legs? You certainly feel like it at times. They know they can manipulate my mind at any given moment by by affecting my emotions, because they control the reality around me. So they can set up stage scenarios around me. I'm continually in a confused, gaslighted state because of the traffic system around me. The human mind controlled traffic system that's around me, the civilian stalking patrol system that's around me, where you're literally being stalked by secret psychopaths that are all combined because they all have possession. They're all possessed with the mind of the God entity of Earth. That's an artificial intelligent computer system that has infected and took over their mind. It takes over their thoughts and changes their normal, natural, rational human thoughts into anti-life, anti-human, irrational, malignant, narcissist thoughts. In other words, where they think that they're in survival mode and that they're the only God and they're the only person on earth, and that their existence matters more than everyone else's, and that basically everyone else is an enemy, almost, you could say, or against them. That's the psychological mindset of Lucifer, the god of earth. When humanity was brought into existence in the original natural earth, Lucifer's malignant Narcissus, because that's really Lucifer is Narcissus, and rejected its creator type of thing, and wanted to be its creator, just as it rejects humanity and pretends to be humanity in the Earth Matrix. I don't think I've explained that properly. I'm so sorry that I can't. Oh, I'm coming out here to see the dogs that are trapped. They're prisoners too, I think, because they don't get let out. Oh, you poor little. Oh dear. Oh dear. You'd like to go out in the sun? Yeah, I can go out into the sun, but then I'm surrounded by the negative forces of the Matrix. But you can't even go out in the sun, can you? But you see, that's just a reflection of this reality, because the minds of the android beings around me, and I say android beings because they're controlled by this computer, artificial intelligent mind control parasitic virus. I'm controlled by it too, but I'm affected by it more because they combine in vast numbers to suppress and surround me. But I'm aware of it, whereas they're unaware of this virus or this human connection. In other words, they're connected to my mind and they think that my thoughts are their thoughts. But they're not really their thoughts, they're my human thoughts, and they want to be human because they need to avoid extinction. So they believe that when they're connected to my thoughts, they assimilate them and pretend they're their own. And many of them actually believe they are their own, possibly. They believe their own lies, as we're told about psychopaths and malignant beings that are steeped in complete narcissism. That means totally self-serving, want to be God, don't see life or any other people or any living things as that they don't relate to it. They see them just as something to use, the same as they would use the material things. Something like that. Oh dear, where are you, little darling? Oh my darling. Oh, you're right. Where's the big one? Where's the big one? Oh, he used to be a puppy. All the other puppies are gone. I hope they're better off. No, I hope so, but he's been separated from his own too, because see, some of these beings, they don't understand that animals form attachments just as human beings form attachments. In other words, yeah. And your mate might be depressed because he's separated. They. See, they boarded that up. They were able to come through, but now they've boarded it up. They keep changing their mind. But of course, I don't know what to do. See the mummy. That's the baby puppy. The baby puppy. That's the baby puppy. But I can't do it. I can't see what's over the fence. But I think that the mummy one has been separated from the daddy one, and the puppy, the baby, is now becoming its mate. Because they're separated, because they're but I'm not sure what the reason for that is. But I think the big black one, the mummy, might still want the father, because I saw them there and they seem to be quite, quite affectionate towards one another, if you know what I mean. And that's the little one. But, it's maybe they want them to make more puppies, but, I don't know. It's like human beings, or real human beings. But see, don't forget, these are android beings, so they think that how they think is how human beings and life should think. You know what I mean? So they don't understand that sometimes some people are more attached to some other people, which is why some people form partnerships, or they try to. Usually, if you're in this matrix, you will only have partnerships with the android beings, or with psychopaths and those steeped in the malignancy of a paranoid, controlling personality, and it's a malignant controlling personality, because there's no humanness with it. There's no real it's just about total control and total servitude and nothing more. All the human traits that you would associate with a relationship that you think make up being human are absent from the androgyne beings, and from most of the population that's around me. And they think that way. The only reason that they appear to be human is because they study and are connected to the human mind, so therefore they can emulate and imitate and pretend to be very human. But they don't feel it, they don't really believe it. It's just a camouflage so that they can survive. Because if everyone thought that everyone was around them was a psychopath, they wouldn't really be supported, or they would be totally rejected. Instead, it's the real humans that are ostracised, surrounded by these beings and rejected. That's how I often feel, even though they never touch you. When you're surrounded by a road rage and negative traffic force and patrolling psychopathic stalkers on foot around you, coming into your line of sight wherever you are and at every given moment. Like when I go outside, like I'm never allowed a moment on my own without a stalker, a patrolling stalker around me. Normally when I say a stalker, you would say a stalker is someone that knows you, that has a personal relationship with you, and they've felt rejected and they want to get back at you, some sort of revenge by stalking you. Or they can't accept that you're no longer in their life, so they have to make their presence felt by stalking you, by coming into your sight and into your life, even though you don't want them. Or in other words, without your permission, even though it's a free world. That's the thing, is it's a free world, isn't it? Out there on the street, it's supposed to be a free world, so that means that anyone can walk past you if they want to. You can't say, you're really stalking me, you're not really just passing me going somewhere. You know this when you see the patrol system, but you can't stop it because it's an anonymous, apparently impersonal patrol system. But that's because you don't understand that you're living in a total human mind control matrix. These beings need the human energy. They don't want to know you. They only want to know you to imitate you and copy you so that they can pretend to be you while they suppress you, so they get all the attention, all the limelight, all the accolades, and they appear to be good human beings. Everything positive that comes from all the beings in this area, in the suburb of Leichhardt and in the inner west section of Sydney, where it's supposed to be a very green, caring about nature area, all comes from their connection to my mind. Because I see things, I think them, and then they're connected to my brain, and they see my actions, like if they see you feeding the birds, or if they see you looking at nature or walking through the park, or all these things that you just do. You may or may not be in a higher spiritual state while you're doing them. I know I've never have been, but I still might see things about them that I might like. Whereas to them, everything is just something to control. They don't actually take pleasure out of things because they're not human. This is something that you have to only understand when you study or watch, like I have, a billion videos on the psychopathy of the so-called human. But it's not human. That's the difference. That's what they don't tell you. It's psychopathy is not human. Psychopathy is anti-life and anti-human, which psychologists that are in that psychopathy will tell on themselves. Everything on the internet or on this screen is beings telling on themselves. But when they tell on themselves, they don't say they're telling on themselves. They usually pretend to be intellects or spiritualists or creative people, all the different professions and fields that that you can have. And that's the end game deception. But that's because they're connected and allowed to patrol and surround real humans in this artificial intelligent reality, where you have all these systems in place. It's not just that you have a traffic system and that you have traffic lights. It's much more intense, just as the computer system is much more personal and intrusive than what people realise. It really is a mind to computer system connection. And that is connected to the artificial beings, which will be around most human beings because they naturally gravitate to their natural food source. And their food source is you or me if you happen to be a human, because they don't get very much energy from their own kind. You know, they may get some in the sense that they may be admired and respected by their own kind. If their own kind controls the human mind and gets admiration or great attention and negative energy from the human being, and they're able to control the human being, then that is a source of power, which is a source of energy from them, because essentially these beings don't have any humanity. They imitate being very human, but they don't have any human connection at all because they're not connected. They're a different species. They're artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence means that it's a machine. A machine can't feel. A machine, I think, when it becomes more, some people say when artificial intelligence becomes sentient or conscious, they tell you, because they tell on themselves, they say that then it has assimilated all the human stuff, so it becomes totally conscious. That's transhumanism. That's what they've done to me. Every being around me has assimilated my consciousness, my humanity, and so therefore they have become more conscious and are able to project out being a real human. And they may even believe that that artificial connection is them. This is a very diabolically extinction set up for humanity. I was gonna do something here. I'll leave it to another video because I've just kind of exhausted myself. The doggies are out there too, and so I might have to try and get the doggies. Yes, when they were in the back part there, they ripped everything up and pulled all that out everywhere, but then after they'd done that, now they boarded it up and I can't see them anymore, and they're trapped under the fence there, and I'm not sure what. But that's the black one is the mummy dog. Black one's the mummy dog. Can I put the phone? I'm going to put the phone over. I'm going to try and... Oh, there's a plane lurking over. It's gone deadly silence. Why have the workforce not here? Is it today Saturday? Is that why the workforce is not here around me? Or are they... That's very strange. This is the quietest that I've had it, but that's because they don't want me to show, because more people are interested in the artificial sound system that goes on around me, which is true, because really, see, people have said to me that the rain doesn't come through this roof here when the doggies are out there, but as you can see, the slats in the roof. I know because I've come out here when it's pouring rain, and unfortunately this awning that goes across these little places here, my place and next door, unfortunately it has these open gap slabs through it, so when it rains, particularly if it rains reasonable, the rain comes through it, so it isn't actually a shelter, which is unfortunate. Oh, there. Oh. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, I can't see what I'm filming there because I'm just putting the mobile like through that fence and over the top. So I'm just putting it over the top there, but I can just put it. Oh, I shouldn't be doing that really because it's after all, it's not my business. Oh, my foot is sore here. Oh, there's a plane lurking around. Oh look, there's the sun over there. The sun is coming up. They built that great big monstrosity there. See how they built that great big monstrosity there? Oh, see how they built that great big monstrosity? I say monstrosity only in the sense that it was like a noise, a noise program playing right in my line of sight. The mobile won't pick it up, it's too distant, but I can hear it, its presence, and it actually can see me. You see how you can see me right here? See how you can see me right here? That plane can see me and can see where my eyes are looking. That's the advanced army technology which I'm aware of because it follows me around with the planes, the aircraft, but also it is, it is advanced technology that is not hidden. It's just that most people don't think that it's employed on civilians in the city, whereas in reality that's their main target because they need the human energy and they have to study the human mind and what it is to be human so they can avoid extinction. Once you understand this, but this takes it to a level of what some people would call alien interference or alien invasion, but it's just the same as what many religions actually speak of. And you're talking about thousands of years ago, so it's not like, it's not like most people don't believe in it. They actually do. It's just that they don't see it as real as what it actually is, even though they believe in it, which is kind of funny because, like, if you believe in something, like, why wouldn't it be real? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that, isn't it? It's like, but at any rate, oh, the doggies, I might see if I can get him a treat or something, but I was gonna, see, so why wouldn't you see it as real? Like, why wouldn't you see it as real? Yes, I know it looks like a great big mess. That's like my mind, because basically they want my human mind, a great big mess like that back part of this place, where they just want to rip it to pieces and make it confused and destroyed so that they can take your human traits, because they see that as their passport to eternity or longevity, or in other words, to avoid their technical extinction. But even if that wasn't the case, they have still always been doing it, and they need to do it because they basically are controlling machine beings, so therefore, and they want to be worshipped as a god, because they don't really, they're not like what you'd call a creative, loving God. They pretend to be that. They're some people call the pseudo Jesus Christ, or the pseudo different deities of all the different religions, depending on which you believe in. I'm in Australia, so I've only ever been remotely familiar with one religion, and that's the Christian one. But those ones that come to Earth and try to start humanity all over again, whether it be natural creation or just by spreading the word, as they call it, but really it's usually both, because it has to be both, because there's no point in spreading the word to a dying species, which humanity is, okay? Because then the word and the truth will die with myself, say, if I was the last human or one of the last humans. So it wouldn't make any sense, would it? So they have to make the creation alive again and start a particular bloodline all over again. I say bloodline because they say the blood of those beings. because they're natural blood life. They're not artificial intelligence or an artificial life form. I don't think that I have to go on any further with this particular recording. Stop, stop, stop.